Hey guys, it's me, Emily Teeter from work. I'm here at 214, ready to talk about all the fire equipment that our awesome firefighters use for calls. Lieutenant Brian, he's going to show us the Aqua Eye.
Yeah, so this is one of the pieces of equipment that we carry. It's new to the fire department. This helps find human targets underwater without doing search patterns using our divers. So this speeds up the recovery process. The way it works is you put this underwater. It uses sonar technology, and once you go underwater, you can start scanning, and as you scan, it fills up this kind of meter, shows you how far you've scanned, and human targets show up as X's across here. So you can see my scan pattern was not very complete, and then there are no possible targets to go search for. So when we're trying to speed up the recovery process, if we can find targets of interest to go search for those, this is a pretty valuable tool. So thanks for coming to 214 and checking out the Aqua Eye.
Okay, so this is Lieutenant Dan. Lieutenant Dan. I've been waiting to say that. No. Okay, so tell us what you got here.
Okay, so the truck 211, we carry extrication tools. You may hear that on the radio, and this is what we're talking about. These are the three that we use mostly. And so what we have is our spreader, our ram, and our cutter, and they're going to be used in different ways by different people. So I might assign this to a firefighter to use the spreader, and we're going to use that. It does what it says it does. It spreads things open. So if we need to get a door off somebody or spread the seat back, something like that, we can just turn them on. They're battery powered, so they work really quick, and they're portable. We used to have a unit that came with hydraulic tools, and it was kind of heavy, and we'd have to move them around, and sometimes if the car was down the side of an embankment, it would be difficult to get to them. But these are now just single units, and they're heavy, but they're portable, which is nice. So that obviously spreads and collapses. This is our ram. This is going to do sort of the same thing, but we would use this in the situation where we would be doing what we call a dash lift or dash roll. It's literally just a piston that extends quite a bit, and in the truck we have an extension that we can use as well. But its only job is to push apart, and that's all it does. And then our cutters here. Same kind of thing. We would maybe cut a door jamb. This would be for like heavy duty cutting, not like seat belts or wires or anything like that. Like we're really using this for big stuff. So, or roof. Yeah. That's another way we get to people. That might be plan B, is where we try to get them out of their seat. If we can't, a lot of times we'll take the whole roof off, remove that, and then we're able to get them out a little easier.
Hi, I'm Greg. So I'll just talk briefly about tools that we carry. This is not specific to the truck. All of our fire engines carry a set of these, but these are what we refer to as irons. So you might hear that on the radio, grab the irons or the marriage. And what that's referring to is an axe and a halligan. And these can be used in conjunction with each other. Sometimes we'll just take a halligan with us. The primary uses for these is getting into doors that might be locked. We may have a call that's time sensitive and we can't wait for somebody to drive there with a key. Whether it's a fire call or a medical call, we use this to force entry into a house. And there's various parts of this tool which gives us additional leverage and is very helpful for the task at hand. So now I'm going to explain what we carry as far as chainsaws. This is what we refer to as a bar saw. So we have, all of our fire engines have two saws. They have a bar saw with a carbide blade and a bar saw with a wood blade. So if we have to cut a tree out of the road, we're going to use the wood saw. If we have to cut roofing material to vertically ventilate in a fire, we're going to use a bar saw as well, but the chain is different. Has a carbide chain on it. It cuts a little bit differently. This right here, this is called a circular saw, and these are specific to the truck. Our engines don't have these. We have two of them. One has a composite blade, and then this one right here has what's called a diamond blade. This is primarily for cutting through concrete or metal. So our bar saws are primarily to cut wood. This would be our metal and our concrete. So in specific situations, whether it's a residential house or a commercial building, if it doesn't have a wood roof, we see a lot of the residential houses around here are starting to go to metal roofs. This will not operate on metal, so we have to use this.
Another thing that we specifically carry on Truck 211 is what we call our Rescue 42s. And you might hear that over the radio when we're trying to stabilize something. When we arrive to a motor vehicle accident, we do something that we call basic stabilization. And that's something that I would assign maybe Greg to do real quick, or Andrea would get out, and we just do the basics to make sure the car's not gonna roll over and hurt anybody. But then later, when we have a little bit of time and we're able to get maybe some more folks there, we would use our Rescue 42s for something we call advanced stabilization. And what they are, they're just basically extendable posts that we can hook to cars or awnings or anything that we need to shore up a little bit and strengthen those so that we can safely work around them. If a vehicle's on its side, we would put one on each side of it to form like a triangle, so the vehicle's much more stable, and then we feel more comfortable getting in and out of the car and helping the patients that are in there get out. So that's what we call the Rescue 42s, or advanced stabilization.
This is Andrea, and she's going to show us the Lucas machine.
This is what we use on CPR calls. It is called a Lucas. And when we initially get on scene, we will start CPR with the crew hands that we have available. But as soon as we have another rig arrive and or AMR shows up, we will pull out the Lucas and utilize this. This goes around our patient, and this will come down onto the chest, and we are able to turn it on and off, or do continuous compressions, or 30 to 2 like normal AHA CPR guidelines. This just helps open up the ability to have extra people doing other things like starting IVs and getting medications going. And also it saves our backs, and we can also transport with this going in the back of an ambulance. We do carry an extra battery for it, so that way if we end up at the hospital and the patient goes back into cardiac arrest and we have to continue with CPR, this can be utilized even at the hospital until they can get pulled into the cath lab and get the blockage removed.
What we have here, this is what we call a Stokes basket. Inside of our Stokes basket, this is, I should say, the Stokes basket, we only have one, and it's always carried on the truck, so this is another piece of specialized equipment for the truck. Inside the Stokes basket, we carry a backboard. So this is just a normal medical backboard. We might have to package a patient on a hillside if we can find some flat ground, and then we will actually lift this green board with the medical patient secured into the Stokes, and then we secure them a second time, and you'll see these blue and red straps. Also, if we're carrying them up a hill where we have a rope system attached, we can use our rope system to attach to this. This is the head, this is where their feet would be. So we always move with the head forward. In an event like that, we use this strap, and this goes over the patient's groin, and it holds, it kind of is like a seat belt that they wear, and then these two yellow straps would go over their chest, and basically it just secures the patient and holds them into place while we're maneuvering, because if we're out in the woods or going up a hillside, it can get pretty bumpy. The nice thing about this Stokes basket, we leave it connected, but you'll see these two handles right here where the orange tape is. We can actually unscrew these, and this will actually break into two pieces in case we got to fit through a really tight area. But we like to keep it together, because it fits on the truck and it's just faster to the patient that way. Another piece of equipment we have that we can use in conjunction with the Stokes basket is this wheel. Look, this looks like it is a mountain bike tire. And so it'll clip to this carrier, and this carrier actually will clip to the underside of the Stokes. And so if we're on a trailhead or we're going through a really narrow passageway, we can actually roll the patient with 4 people at each corner, and that takes a lot of weight off what we have to carry, especially if we're going a great distance. If we're going up a hill, however, usually we wouldn't utilize this. We'll actually utilize personnel, and those are these big yellow straps on the side. So if you can imagine this rope going to a rope system here, we would have 2 people in the front and 2 people in the rear, and they will have rescue harnesses on, like climbing harnesses, and then we can clip the carabiners into those harnesses, and it'll take a little bit of weight off of our backs as we're trying to lift somebody up. Yeah.
Oof, it's so far, you guys.
You can do it.
Okay.
Hold on tight.
I know.
Yeah.
Am I gonna be able to do this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Leg squeeze,
Leg
important.
squeeze. Grab that leg. Yeah.
Okay, leg squeeze, important. Leg squeeze, got it.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Easy.